Hey guys, Steve Tan here. So in this video, we're gonna go through one of the top sites that we use in China, okay? It's called 1688.com, okay? So as you can see on this, I already browsed my website browser to 1688.com, okay? So it's actually 1688.com. This website is also owned by Alibaba, okay? It's basically the same version of AliExpress, but in Chinese for local Chinese buyers, okay? So the question is, like, what if I don't read Chinese, okay? There's really no good solution for this if you can't read Chinese, but I mean, there's a lot of translation apps like, Google, or you could hire a local Chinese guy to come and help you, like, browse through or procure your products from 1688, okay? So one of the reasons why we want to use 1688 is because it's way cheaper than AliExpress. Reason being, it's catered to China buyers, right? Okay, so for example, they have all this different kind of basically any category that you can look for in like AliExpress is gonna be available on 1688, okay? So let's just browse through something like baby products, okay? Let's just go to baby products. All right, this whole category is on baby products, and it will list like all the hot selling products here as well. For example, like this like moisturizer sold like 90,000 bottles, all right? And like this baby clothing sold like 3,000 units, okay? So I'm just gonna go through some, like, I'm just doing all this live right now, so like there's no script, there's no nothing, just to go through like 1688, what's it like. So basically you can see the interface is pretty much 90% similar to what AliExpress is. Like, the only small difference is it's all in Chinese, right? That's the only difference, okay? So like these are all really basic Chinese characters. Like any normal like Chinese guy will be able to like help you procure this or translate it for you, okay? So for example, this one, like $60 to $80, like definitely depending on the quantity you purchased, like or the sizing, okay? So like for 72 cm is 60 RMB. And for 95 cm, the bigger L size, it would be 80 RMB, okay? So from here, like it's pretty much all the same. You can go through all the product detail, like the photos. Like definitely you could like use all these photos if these photos comes from this supplier itself. You have to make sure that these are not copyrighted photos done by like brands or other like branded clothing apparel companies, okay? So just go through here, go through what are images here. We're not going to cover like research in this video, because like we're going to just cover like how we browse and like use 1688 and what 1688 is, okay? So like not a lot of people use 1688 for people doing dropshipping, because like this is not a very popular site in overseas, okay? The one that's popular is AliExpress, but tell you what, all the sellers know they are selling overseas, so they usually mark up really high when they're selling on AliExpress. So if you're selling something like the product A, what we usually do, let's say this baby product, for example, this baby apparel product. Let's say we're gonna sell this on like our dropshipping store, Shopify store, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, let's say you find this product on AliExpress. So what I'm gonna do is I will find this exact same product, I'll search it on 1688, okay? I'll search it by the Chinese term, or like sometimes I could use English, but most often, if not, you have to use the Chinese term, because like this site only mostly supports like Chinese characters, and like all the product titles are all in Chinese, for example, like that. So if you're searching by English, most likely you're not gonna find anything at all, okay? That's the probably main problem you're gonna encounter, okay? But if you can use this site to your advantage, you could easily save 30 to 80% off the price that you're getting on AliExpress. Yes, I mean 30 to 80%, sometimes up to 90%, depending on what kind of products you're looking for, okay? So this, you definitely need like to be able to read Chinese, or you need a local procurement guy or girl, or like a staff in China or somewhere else, or someone who reads Mandarin, okay? I mean, Mandarin is so like getting very popular in overseas. I'm sure there's a lot of like students also starting to learn this language. All right, so you could actually hire someone like, on like whichever platform you want, or whichever, like, hiring locations, or be it local or like a virtual assistant. All they need to do is they need to read Mandarin Chinese characters, okay? So that you could like have them search this. So usually what's the best practice that we do is we'll create an Excel file, right? We'll create an online Google Drive file. So whenever we have products that we want them to do like price comparisons, we'll just put it all in a Google Drive document Excel file, right? So all you need to do is just create a process. Systemize this process so that like whenever you have new products that your team, like your research team or you yourself has researched, right? You could put it on the Excel file itself. Like, like let's say you have 10 products you need to do research. Just set it up in a way whereby like once like your product research guy does upload all these products that needs to do price comparison, once this like the 1688 guy, or be it the Mandarin guy or Chinese guy, sees the product there, all he'll do is go search this product on 1688 and start comparing the prices, okay? So in this way, you could easily go check so much different kind of pricing, be it whether it's like, baby products, apparel products, shoes, there's like the possibility are endless here, like using 1688. For products, for us, I would say we procure like at least like 40 to 50% of all our supplies on 1688, because not necessarily we're gonna meet all the minimum order quantities on Alibaba, because like I'm gonna go through Alibaba as well, and I'm gonna explain to you why we would kind of favor 1688 over Alibaba in some of the scenarios, right? Well, it really depends on what kind of like quantities you're moving for every single product. If it's like 100, 200, or like 100 or less, don't even bother with like Alibaba, because like those are people that's like buying like huge volume, big containers, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so just play around with like your 1688 like website here. Like there's like stationery, automobile, baby products, toys, so on and so forth, right? So just have your like procurement guy just go through here, like go through, compare the prices. It's one of the places that we use for product research as well, which we're gonna cover in another video. But definitely this is one of the like go-to spots for us to like procure products, because of the advantages they have over pricing. Okay, so guys, do spend a lot of time here. Initially when you're just starting out, you're not familiar with like this 1688.com. What I want you guys to go is just go through like go through the different kind of categories, get yourself familiarized with the whole interface. At least, even if you do not read Mandarin, like you could like just at least understand which ones are like like for example this is called 成交, which is like the number of units sold. So pretty much you just need to like identify like, all right, the bottom right hand corner of every product here is going to display the quantity that's sold. This is something like a no-brainer. You don't even need to read Mandarin. All you need to know is just where to identify like this is the price, right? 1180 is the price, number of units sold, 15,000 units. All right, so these are all like small details you could just like go through, like and like you can see like you have to order a minimum of just 3 units, right? And you're gonna get this like $11.80. But one point that you guys need to take note is that most often, if not, like this sellers on 1688, they do not ship internationally. All right, so the best practice is to have your procurement guy negotiate something with the seller. All right, if they are not, Chinese sellers, there's a trend like this. This trend is everywhere in the world, right? If you're too small, or you just order 1 or 2 units every single day, or like 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, the sellers won't be really interested in dealing with you, right? Everyone's just like trying to sell more through this platform. So like 1688, there's chances that there are suppliers that's able to ship internationally, but if not, you might have to go through an agent who helps you procure from like 1688 and charges you like a small markup. All right, so if you guys do not have like a local like logistics or 3PL forwarding company that you work with, like working with 1688 might be a challenge initially, but everything's challenging when you're starting a new business or anything, right? It's just part of the process whereby you will need to get yourself more involved in this whole process. Once you get more involved, everything just becomes like a little bit more simple. Okay, so if you guys don't have like a 3PL company right now, the other solutions would be either, like the first one would be either the seller can help you ship internationally, or you could have to go through an agent who charges you like a 5 to 10% markup over AliExpress. But even if they charge you, you have to make sure even if they charge you the 5 to 10% markup, it's still cheaper than AliExpress. If that's the case, you're winning the game. Okay, you just have to make sure your price is way cheaper than AliExpress. Be it like 10%, 20%, 30%, or 40%, doesn't matter. As long as you're getting it cheaper, you're one step ahead the competition. All right. Okay, guys. So that's it in this video, and we'll cover more about Alibaba as well in another video. So stay tuned for the next video. See you.